Asta may have the most annoying voice you've ever heard in an anime, but Black Clover has reached an entirely new level with Season 4. We finally got a backstory into both Yuno and Asta's past, Asta's source of devil powers were finally revealed, and we got the most epic finale to a fight scene I've seen in a long time. When Yami tossed Asta his sword to give Dante the final blow, we were shook. It was like all the hard work, dedication, and hate he'd received had culminated to this one moment where he was truly acknowledged as a Magic Knight. Season 4 was one of our favorite seasons undoubtedly, and that's why we're here to bring you the top 10 things you might have missed from Black Clover Season 4. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe for weekly 10 things you missed from your favorite anime. We've got Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and many more posted up, but we're here for you, the anime fans, so comment below which show, season, or anime movie you want us to do next, and we'll add it to the list. Coming in at number 10, the real meaning behind Grey's name. If you've seen any Disney movies during your childhood, which most of you likely have, you're probably aware of the story of Cinderella. We couldn't really help but notice the similarities between the Disney princess's story and our beloved shy member of the Black Fold, Grey's. The ugly stepsisters in her story would call her Grey because she was always covered in soot after cleaning the house. The nickname stuck, and if you do some digging into what some regions in Asia call Cinderella, you'll find out that the princess was referred to as the Grey Girl. Her character development has been exponential, and with her new power appearing through healing Gosha's mortal wound, it opens up a whole new avenue of intrigue for the character. Number 9. Is that really Nahato? We were introduced to one of the most odd and complex characters of the series, which is saying something given the insanity of the Black Bulls, with the vice captain of the Black Bulls, Nahato. We know he has a deep hatred for devils and wants to take them down, having worked as a spy hiding in the Spade Kingdom for years, but taking on this kind of task requires a clear goal motivated by a deep backstory, something slightly hinted at when Jack the Ripper had tried to point out that he looked different since he last saw him. Nahato replied that the person he's talking about is dead, a quick but significant moment to keep in mind. When Naruto was taking Asta to the secret chamber to teach him how to control his devil, we saw a photo hung up of him as a child, insinuating that this was actually his own home. But oddly enough, he was talking about this place in the third person, saying things like, "This house belonged to a noble family." This language is important, and may just mean that the real Naruto isn't with us. He could possibly be dead, and whoever it is that's there might just be a devil. The question is that a good one or a bad one? Number 8. Lucifero. As many of you know, Lucifer is known as the devil in various Christian folklore, and Dante refers to his devil as Lucifero. While the similarity is notable, what really caught our eye is that in the flashback of the season finale, Lucifero is mentioned again when it takes over Liabe's body, forcing him to run away from Asta's mother. Considering Asta was showing his full strength in front of Dante during the epic battle with Yami, it almost doesn't make sense that his devil wouldn't have noticed the striking similarity between Asta and Liabe. Even more so, seeing Liabe living in the human world when it's theoretically impossible should have ingrained him in the devil's mind. It's likely that this is because of his clear-as-day god complex, but it's also likely that he'll be back with a vengeance after realizing what's happening. But this time he'll have to face off against both Asta and Liabe together. If it's anything like the last battle, the animation's going to be unreal. Number 7. Is Zenon the real villain? There's something clearly unsettling about Zenon's presence whenever he appears on the screen. And this presence seems to be a small foreshadowing in a way, that he may be the strongest among the 3 siblings, despite being the youngest. Everything from his character design to his quiet personality sends out an aura of quiet power, somehow saying, "I'm the real bad guy, not my dumb older brother." The first time we saw the Dark Triad together, Dante questioned Zenon about how he was dealing with his devil powers, to which he replied that he was getting used to them, mostly. But considering how he's able to take down the entirety of the Golden Dawn and then a later injured Yami without breaking a sweat, it looks as though he's on a completely different level than his siblings. Looking even deeper to Dante's question, it could have been referring to if Zenon was using the power of his devil instead of his own. He has a similar demeanor to Yuno, a calm, royalistic confidence that is hiding a powerful aura in the background. All of these signs make it a pretty safe bet that Zenon might just be the biggest threat of this arc, especially considering how he reacted to his brother's defeat, mocking his remarks of taking over the world and labeling him as pathetic. Number 6. The reason behind Asta's missing magic. It's no secret at this point that we know that Rachita was Asta's mother. I mean, if you just look at her first appearance, the similarities were uncanny. During her appearance in the flashbacks, it was revealed that she, like Henry, could soak up the mana energy from others around her. But her abilities were on a whole other scale, to the point of consuming all the life force from a snake before it could even approach her. If she hadn't given up Asta, then this anime would have been a hell of a lot shorter, and after having drained all of his mana, his life force would have likely been the next target. This power brings up some important questions though, like how did she receive it, who exactly gave it to her, and why? It seems as though it involved a devil in some way. Is there remnants of curse-like magic in her? An interesting foreshadowing that will likely bring us to Asta facing off with this culprit in the future. Number 5. Noelle's new power-up? We've all fallen in love with the awkward yet charming princess of Heart Kingdom, Laura Petchka. But as all great anime love to do, they place the life of the kind and heartwarming character on the line. With Megicula abducting her, she could be going through God knows what given the insanity of her abductor. With the high possibility of her losing her life in the end, it would make sense that Noelle could receive a huge power-up from it. In this scenario, it's likely that Noelle would inherit the water spirit, Undine, having already removed her curse before, making it possible for her to finally defeat Vanika's devil powers. And in this scenario, likely it wouldn't happen without some intense reasoning behind it, meaning that it's possible Laura Petchka will have to give her life up for our Magic Knights. Number 4. The Hungry Joker. Black Clover isn't Yuki Tabata's first series and hopefully not the last either. He had previously worked on another series called The Hungry Joker, which followed a genius scientist who received supernatural powers. The plot is nothing like Black Clover, but the author made sure to include some Easter eggs for his diehard fans. One of which is Dante's forehead. His forehead resembles a stitch mark from one of the most important pieces of the story in Hungry Joker, the Black Apple. The similarities aren't just aesthetic. The Black Apple in Hungry Joker was used to grant its users powers related to gravity, much like Dante's in Black Clover. Number 3. The elves survived in a new technique? An unexpected plot twist occurred when it was revealed that Queen Tetsuya and Licht's child had survived to carry on the race. Seeing Patry in the body of Licht, along with Fana, Raya, and Vito, we got to see the true embodiments of the elves once again. This new area that they've been hiding in holds a whole ton of secrets, and with the Heart Kingdom invasion coming up, their new technique will likely play a huge role in preparing the knights. It's more than likely that this new power will be similar to what they learnt in the Heart Kingdom, allowing them to use the mana of their surroundings just like the elves had done in their invasion. Number 2. Why did Rikita have Licht's Grimoire? In all of the flashbacks, we were so busy wondering what really happened to Asta and Liabe's mom that we completely forgot to ask ourselves an important question. Why did Rikita have Licht's Grimoire in the first place? We already know that his grimoire is one of the strongest in the history of Clover Kingdom, but it making its way to Rikita doesn't quite make sense. We'll definitely have to find out more about her past to understand that she's likely not just a normal mage living in the outskirts. A really dark but interesting theory would be that she had survived the encounter with the devil and plotting everything to where everything is now. But if there's one thing Black Clover's taught us is how quick you can change your views about a character in a single episode after our experiences with Licht, Patry, and Zora. Number 1. Is Asta's father a devil? We've been exposed to the fact that there are mixed races present in the world of Black Clover. Charmy is a half-dwarf and half-human, but the sudden appearance of Licht and Tatsuya's children is very interesting considering how Asta was fighting Liabe at the same time, and revealing through the flashback that Rikita had a mysterious condition. We have a theory that Rikita has been in love with a devil who unknowingly cursed her after impregnating her with Asta, and that's why she wasn't afraid of Liabe and believed that there are good devils too. And it's also why the show has saved Asta's father's appearance for hopefully the near future. A huge shot in the dark here, but how interesting would it be if it was Zenon's devil? His powers are the only ones we haven't seen yet, and his demeanor almost seems saddened every time he's on camera. Any manga readers, make sure not to toss any spoilers in the comments, and hopefully until the next season, we hope you enjoyed this video. We post weekly things you missed every Thursday, so don't forget to check out our past videos on Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and many more. We'll see you all next week for 10 things you missed from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Peace!
Buen